First and foremost, what does Nordic WaterProofing do?
What we do is produce and install, in some cases, material which protects buildings and structures, waterproofing, but we also provide building solutions which make construction easier, like prefabricated facade and roof elements. And we have a big focus on sustainable and environmentally friendly solutions.
The second quarter was the strongest in the company history. What factors would you like to highlight that have contributed?
We have grown quite significantly through both organic growth and acquisitions. We've made a number of acquisitions over the last 2 to 3 years since we went public in 2016. That obviously has led to top growth and bottom line growth. We have a very strict cost focus. We work as a very lean and mean reactive organization. That helps. And to some extent we have some pricing power when our costs, especially raw material costs, which are a big part of our cost basis, go up. We are usually able to pass it on to our customers after a certain delay.
You mentioned that growth can continue with, among other things, acquisitions. What type of company are you looking at, and is it within a special region?
Usually we're looking to small and medium-sized companies which we know to some extent. It's really important for us that the management is very good, that we have a good relationship with management. Quite often we give them shares in the common venture, so they have a real financial incentive also to perform. What we then look for is a link to sustainability. We would like to focus on companies who help promote environmentally friendly, sustainable building solutions. We usually don't participate in auctions. We usually try to have a one-on-one conversation with the owners of any target business. And we are quite disciplined in terms of the multiples we are prepared to pay for such companies.
You also mentioned that organic growth can come from the work with prefabricated elements. How do you work with that?
That's a very good example of what we are trying to do in our acquisition strategy, which is to buy a champion in one company. Usually we're talking about Scandinavia and Northern Western Europe, and then extend this successful concept to other countries, to other geographies, where we quite often have management resources, so that makes it sort of a lower risk proposition. So we try to leverage a new type of product or solution throughout the countries we know well.
How do you view the market situation in your different geographical markets right now?
We are quite stable in our case, still quite stable at a historically rather high level. I would say in Denmark and Norway and even Sweden, we see stable demand. In Finland, there's some talk about a downturn next year, but it's not sure it's going to happen. We will see. We are ready for it. In Sweden, I have to add that we are very little exposed to the residential housing market, new builds. We are generally more geared towards renovation than new build, and we are geared also to big boxes, big flat structures rather than the housing market.
Finally, profitability is also a focus. How do you work to improve it?
We mainly work through growth. Growth is really our focus, profitable growth, of course, but that is something we want to do. We want to, again, leverage the good business concepts we have in some part of our organization as much as possible. Plus, obviously, we have a very strict cost control. We monitor our raw material prices very closely, and we're generally geared to efficiency and fast operations.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.